The following program is brought to you by Blood, Sweat, Tears, and listeners like you. To support this show and all of the shows within TWiB Nation, consider becoming a subscriber of our pay service, The Twibularity, at twib.me/subscribe. That's twib.me/subscribe. Or you can give a one-time donation at donate.twib.me. That's donate.twib.me. We've all learned how important media is and who tells our stories. Help us be the media that you want to hear and that the media is afraid to hear. It's kind of hard to listen to yourself become irrelevant.
This is TWiB Nation.
Today is March 3rd, 2016, and on today's TWiB Prime, MSNBC continues to flail during the aftermath of Melissa Harris Perry's departure. Killer Mike makes a passionate plea for Bernie Sanders, and there's a problematic turn of events in the greatest hostage situation we've seen in 2016 so far. All of this and more with Team Blackness. I can't talk for shit on TWiB Prime.
So from now on, whenever you hear these horns, just know you are now entering the blackness. Collard greens, cornbread, and the catfish. Malcolm X and Dr. King with a black fist. We are live, son. This is blackness. You are now entering the blackness. Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and the classics. Real love, the opposite of ratchet. We are live, son. This is blackness. When they hit me, they say.
What is going on, people? We are back. This is This Week in Blackness Prime. I am your host, Elon James White. With me, as per usual, is Team Blackness, consisting of Captain, Lieutenant, General, Professor. On occasion, he's some sort of doctor. He is the Negro Jon Snow in our Negro Game of Thrones. We have Aaron Rand Freeman, sir.
I'm good.
That's really? Really?
What?
That's it?
I don't.
You're missing one of your lights not even on in the room. Like, just like, what's happening there?
It's for mood lighting.
It's mood light. Why do you need mood lighting in a masturbation booth for yourself?
It's not a masturbation booth. It's a dungeon, and dungeons have all variety of lighting options. I could be sullen. I could be in here being the Phantom of the Opera. I could be writing music. I could be doing tons of stuff.
I don't know where you learned about the types of dungeons, but apparently the dungeons you run into are just amazingly put together and awesome.
It could still be a dungeon. Where's the California horizon? Where is it in here?
Aaron.
Where is it?
Hello, Aaron. Look where I'm at. Is there any California horizon right now?
Motherfucker, you in heaven? Let's get a look at that shit.
Oh, stop it.
Get that nigga ass in heaven.
Yes, I know. I'm in Infinite White, and listen. I'm angelic and shit. But that doesn't mean that I'm very close to you. We're not. It's not
That's
like
fine. Look at that shit. Look at the difference.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Can I have some more bread, sir?
You know what? And the answer is no. Also with us, because apparently Amani Gandhi, our senior legal analyst here, is moving drugs. She is a problem, and I keep telling her to leave this life of crime behind.
Fuck no. It's lucrative as fuck.
That's one. And it's two, actually. Like you hit that in two times.
I feel strongly about that tax-free drug trade. Let's get it.
That's listen. I need Amani to use that law degree she has.
Getting paid in briefcases, son. You haven't paid in a briefcase? The answer is no.
So sitting in with us instead is the host of the Black Guy Who Tips and the founder of the Black Guy Who Tips Premium Podcast Network. We have Rodimus Prime, sir.
Yo, what up, y'all?
How's it going, sir?
Chilling. I see young Metro trust Amani Gandhi.
What are you saying?
Moving that weight.
First of all, I really wish that Amani would think about her future. I feel like she's not really thinking about
trying to make that money.
Like what she's doing here. Like I understand that like times might be hard. I get it.
How much more thoughtful can it be? Like I think I need an extra $300,000 for the next 5 years. That's thoughtful as fuck. All three.
That's three.
All three.
Wow.
The trifecta.
Just like we aren't even 5 minutes in, sir. That's a little bit ridiculous.
I feel strongly about that. Stick it to the U.S. government. Make that tax-free money.
I'm gonna need you to.
She's a lawyer and a drug dealer.
Okay. Why don't you breathe, stretch and shake, possibly let it go. All right. We do this Monday through Thursday. We have a docket full of shenanigans, tomfoolery, and what have you. But we have a Reminders, which apparently is my job because Amani's not here because she's again
bam
moving weight. So if you want to support TWiB Nation, you can always go to support.twib.today, where you can actually buy fucks for the fucks economy. That's all legal statements. I didn't actually use any of my F's in
That's cool. So I get the free fucks?
Nope.
Support this fucking shit.
Okay, Aaron, you're blowing over your numbers.
I don't give a fuck.
Aaron!
Bam.
Support.twib. I mean, please go buy Aaron some F's because he's over his number and he's punch drunk inside the masturbation booth. I don't know what's happening in there.
Too big to fail.
I need you to pull it back and shake it out. But you can go to support.twib.today. You can make sure to support us in that way, and also you can always remember to shop with us at Amazon Prime if you actually use Amazon in any shape, form, or fashion. If you go to I believe Amazon.twib.me, that's Amazon.twib.me, you can actually give us a referral on anything you buy. It actually costs you absolutely nothing, and you shop with Amazon with the Amazon link, and boom. And actually, if you're like, it's sometimes like, I don't always remember to go to the link, but I use Amazon and I want to help, then you know what you do? Actually just install the Chrome extension at twib.me/Chrome. That's twib.me/Chrome. And that means that it would actually make, anytime you go to Amazon, it will actually make it an Amazon link, and then magic shall ensue, and we get a referral, and you get your product, and then we continue to be media, and hopefully I can save Imani from the life of crime that she's currently in. I'm pretty sure her parents aren't happy about this.
Nope.
They're professors and shit.
I know, and they're savvy. They're savvy. Listen, they're hippies. Aren't they hippies and revolutionaries? Aren't they anti-government and all that stuff? Tax-free money. Support independent media.
Aaron, make sure Rodimus Prime and your microphone, your volumes are up. I'm seeing on the feed that someone said that your volumes are a little bit low.
Low? Let me.
Rod, you're good. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about this part. Like you are not engineering your show, sir. We are full.
I know Aaron is back there masturbating, so I didn't know if I needed to do something or if he was going to take care of himself. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, you know what? It's actually valid because you just started talking just now. You didn't even come on screen. Apparently, Aaron's back there doing whatever. It's just masturbation and drug dealers. That's what I'm working with, Rod. Like this is something I need someone with your work ethic. I mean, clearly you have a high work ethic. Look at that beard. That beard is magnificent. That beard clearly took work and dedication. Something that I was told that the Negroes don't have, but apparently you stuck to it.
Shout out to Bevel. Hooking the brother up, man. Definitely got that thing growing. Got it trimmed up nice. Appreciate y'all.
You know what? Actually, cut up your bum because it sounds still a little bit low on my end, Aaron. Let's make sure that people can hear Rod just fine. And so remember, folks, to Amazon.twib.me, get that helps out, get that referral money. Remember, you can subscribe, and we're about to soon drop our official video subscription choice within the Twibularity. So you'll be able to subscribe to our master feed of Volume, and not Volume. I'm actually thinking about the Volume. I'm still thinking about the volume. That's what it just happened. You just saw me literally go like, I'm really worried about the volume and audio in here or whatever. This is the problem with trying to actually direct and produce the show as you're on the show. Comes in there like what? Huh? No, you actually get our suite of video shows. Blacking It Up, it has returned and it's on video. It's actually back next week. Then we have we'll have our brand new election coverage, TWiB Prime Elections. That'll be happening on Tuesdays and Thursdays with L. Joy Williams, political director of TWiB Nation. We're getting everything up and running and working. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have some specials coming out with a documentary from a beatmaster of TWiB Nation, Willie Evans Jr. And hopefully his stream party for his layest project. Magic is assumed. It's about to happen. It's gonna be. It's all magic. Everything. Just be prepared for all of that. So you ready for it, Aaron? Tell them about the magic.
It's gonna be a lot of magic, sir.
Rod, tell them about the magic.
It's gonna be magical.
Thank you. See, that's all. I just need a little support. I need a hype man sometimes. When we have to start the show and I have to like, hey, you need to support all that stuff, whatever. It's like sometimes I've done this. Apparently, we've done this 801 times. Yesterday was actually our 800th episode, which we completely went through with no fanfare whatsoever. You know why? Because we grinding.
Yeah, we did the same thing for our anniversary show. We finished the anniversary show, and then Karen looks at me. She goes, "Wasn't that the anniversary show?" I was like, "Yeah, it's been 5 years." All right, well, let me.
Actually, we January I believe January 11th was our 5-year anniversary for this show, and then we've hit 800 episodes. TWiB has been in existence now for almost 8 years, and I never remember to celebrate any of these things because I'm like, cool, 7 years, great, back to the grind. Because that's what we do here, and the best part about it is that with all of this, Rod's been around for years, we've been around for years, and people keep going like, podcasting's so white. Yeah, it's like, are you paying attention to anything that's actually happening out here?
We're not making the right list, man. We're just
apparently not. Well, now, Rod, we're in this dazzling 1080p. So now, when they ignore us, it's gonna be like, cool. So you couldn't see us either. So you didn't listen and you couldn't see us. Literally Negroes making like freaking content from scratch, like cooking up internet and content and sending it out. And they could be like, listen, there's like 7 black shows. 7 black shows altogether.
I think the secret is we need to find a white person that has been accused of a crime and start chronicling their struggle to be free.
Oh my God, we should totally do that. Actually, we should just make up a white person, like White Person McGee, and like that's their name. And just like on April 21st, White Person McGee was stopped by the police. just have like fake interviews or whatever, and then I'll do the voiceover. It's like, it was interesting how White Person McGee was stopped, and it's made us our team wonder was there more to the story? Right. We went to investigate, and it's like that. Aaron, are you ready? White Person McGee, and we're just. I think people would give a shit. I think that people might be mad about that, Rod.
Did he steal that bagel? And only one way to find out on the next episode.
Yeah, I want like really dramatic music and shit. It's gonna be awesome. White Person McGee, innocent or kinda innocent. He is white.
Making privilege
from scratch. Let us watch. All right. Let's actually hit our docket, not unlike a boss. Our first story here in TWiB Nation. It was interesting because there's been a meme going around on Facebook and Twitter that basically had a picture of Bernie Sanders and some Black Lives Matter organizers, Marissa Janae, who's been on the show before, and basically saying that, talking about Hillary dealing with Ashley Williams and how she basically pushed her aside, as they say, and then they point out that Bernie, in fact, was like open and just like shook their hands and stuff and gave them the podium and stuff like that. And I saw the meme, and then apparently the meme was spawned by a speech by Killer Mike. I believe we have a clip of that, Aaron.
Yes, we do.
When you have an opportunity to tell 2 black girls to shut up and get off stage and you don't, and you shake their hand and you smile and you step to the side and you listen, that is a firm difference from turning around and staring at a little black girl and saying, shut up, I'll talk to you later. You're being rude, or allowing people to say that to her. I'm going to tell you, the proof is in the pudding every time. If I can find a picture of you from 51 years ago, chained to a black woman, protesting segregation, and I know 51 years later, you're willing to fold your arms, hold your head, and listen to 2 black girls yell and scream, rightfully so, as opposed to someone who will tell you to shut up after they read their own words, as opposed to someone who will tell you later, when it comes to your children dying in the streets, I know that the only person that I have the conscience to vote for is Bernard Sanders.
Okay.
I know that the only person.
That was first of all, holy crap, Rod. Dude, all he needed was an organ, and he would have been there would have been an altar call and shit. The Holy Ghost would have come down. Like, y'all ain't with me now.
Yeah.
You know?
Now,
like,
anybody that wants to come on up here right now and get saved by Saint Bernard of a 2 orgasm.
Like, exactly. I mean, great, Killer Mike. I feel like it's an interesting argument that you're making there, and And it's really interesting because he makes that argument around the fact that like Bernie Sanders was so open to these things, and immediately when I saw the meme and I see Killer Mike saying it, my first thought in my mind is like, I wonder what Marissa Johnson, who is actually being referenced in this, is thinking, because it must be weird to have yourself be referenced in this argument for someone that you were literally at protesting a space, and it wasn't the greatest experience for you, but now that experience is now being used to sell that other candidate. And so that made me wonder, and I was like, hey, Marissa Janae, are you there? I say, Marissa? Oh dear, did we lose Marissa, Aaron?
I don't believe so, but let's see.
I remember she muted herself. That might be a thing. Did you mute? Are you off mute, ma'am? All right, that's I love that I did that whole setup, Rod. we checked earlier. She was there, and then like, hey,
Bernie Sanders people
I can still hear you.
escorted out.
oh, hey, there we go, Marissa.
Hey, sorry, I could hear you the whole time. I was just talking to myself. But you set that up great. Thanks, Elon. Appreciate that.
You were still on mute, weren't you?
I wasn't on mute on my end. It was something on your end.
Okay. Oh, really? It was on my end? Really? That's Aaron? I want accountability. Never mind. Marissa, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. And like I said, seeing this argument around, going around everywhere, I was genuinely kind of confused because I'm like, wait. Marissa came on the show after that. It's a little bit weird that Marissa's being used in this argument here. So please let me know. What is this?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I kind of agree with you guys that if you're not listening to the content, you get really swept up. Because I'm a church lady myself, and I'm like, man, that sounds like the Delivered video. Like, he was turning it all the way up. And then I remember, oh yeah, he's talking about me.
Right.
And I mean, yes, I saw these memes going around all week on Facebook, and I just started getting pissed off. Like, irate, burn things down, destroy people.
Oh dear.
Pissed off. Because all these people are sharing memes using me as an endorsement for Bernie Sanders, the same people who filled my inbox with death threats and calling me a cunt and shooting MLK quotes at me literally just months ago. And so, I mean, for me, I'm sure a lot of other people doing BLM work during this time, you know that, like, revisionist history happens and that your work will be whitewashed and erased. I think what's really startling to me right now is, like, wow, that's really fast. Like, that just happened in August, and already they're able to sell a totally different narrative about what went down.
So what's actually interesting about what you're saying here, Marissa, is that, like you said, whitewash, but in the reason why this even came up because when I'm assuming some folks were playing racist Pokemon, as they're known to do, and they was like, and they, at some point it was just like, well, you know, we have the right to critique Bernie Sanders, blah blah, and then they were like, I choose you, Killer Mike, and they threw him out, and he came out and he had a speech, and he's like, oh crap, well, I was like, oh well, the black guy is saying that, and so how does that affect the whole whitewashing thing?
Well, it's still whitewashing, and I think misogyny is at play here because the whole argument is that Bernie Sanders let us do something. And it doesn't matter what video you're watching, whether you're reading the media coverage after it happens, there's no case for Bernie Sanders allowing or consenting us to do anything. In fact, I mean, that's part of the reason why there's bipartisan rage around our action was that it's very clear that it's non-consensual. It's not cute. We're yelling. We're clapping in his face. It's very clear that Bernie's being made to do something that he didn't want to do. And like when I came on TWiB, I told you guys, you know, gave you the whole scenario and how Bernie Sanders didn't shake my hand. In fact, he chest bumped me, and he was quite arrogant, and he helped fuel the crowd being so violent towards us.
I mean, well, and no, he did. I thought in the video clip, it looks like he at some point in the end when you were walking off, like you guys touched or something like that over the stand, the podium.
No, like not at all, not even close. But I mean, I guess what I'm saying is I think the only reason that people would come to the conclusion that Bernie allowed to do anything based off of the evidence is that they don't want to admit the fact that two young black women were able to usurp the authority and steal the stage from a black man. And so that's why I say whitewashing because if you take the content of what actually happened, it's very clear that Bernie, his camp, his supporters in no way consented to what happened, and weren't down with it until apparently this last week at all.
Oh dear.
And so that's what I mean in the whitewashing. You know, we hear people talk about the civil rights movement, and how it was taught to me was, oh, there's all these good white people who got on board with MLK and gave black people their rights, and now already that is happening about just the Sanders action. That look at this great white man who gave them the podium, right? It's amazing to me. But I think it's even more amazing how, you know, black women are number one solid, consistent voting bloc within the Democratic Party. And continually, I think that using me in the memes, but in the coverage that we've seen, particularly as the primaries are happening down south, there's just a total and utter lack of respect for black women and their agency within the political realm. And so instead, the tactic has been to shame black people, and particularly black women, and try to pin them against one another rather than taking people's concerns and content seriously. And that's really what I've been more interested about is like, okay, are any of the candidates going to actually take the content, you know, that protesters are bringing to them seriously, or are they just using black people as a pawn in a larger election scheme that has nothing to do with us, really?
Interesting. And so, I mean, this whole thing is kind of a little bit weird in how it's being played out, and it's funny because in the midst of in this fiery speech, we have an explanation. It's also funny that Killer Mike actually didn't point out the fact when people were protesting at Netroots Nation about a month before your action,
right,
that Mr. Sanders did not, in fact, just shake their hand and give them the podium. He actually threatened to walk out a couple times, like you don't want me here. I'm gone. And as black women were literally crying and screaming, saying her name, he refused to. And that I find a weird. That like it's cute to frame the next
Elon,
one.
You know what's worse? Not to cut you, but you know what's worse is that we had our action on a Saturday, and Bernie Sanders was in Portland the next night on a Sunday night. And Simone Sanders, who works for him, literally went out and opened up for him into the crowd and said, if any protesters come up here and try to do any Black Lives Matter interruptions, you just chant Bernie's name so loud to drown him out. That was literally the response the next day. And they used a black woman to do it. So there's no case. It's all propaganda. And I think it just highlights a larger point within this election, that black people don't mean anything to liberals, don't mean anything to Dems. Black people are only exist, I think, for the white left as a way to position themselves over Republicans and more conservative people. We're only relevant if we can be used as a pawn to position themselves over other white people. Right.
And that's why I find this the idea, and I mean, I'm wondering because I'm just so before we even continue here, let me have this moment where I say this is not an attack on Killer Mike, because I can see everyone's like, oh, so you coming for Killer Mike? No, I'm not coming for Killer Mike. I actually have said numerous times I'm a fan of his music. We were rocking Big Beast heavy, right? Same time, this is a bad argument, especially when the fact that we spoke to the people, like we interviewed Marissa after the action. So it was like when I saw it, I was like, Bernie just
right, and I was never reached out to by anyone from the Sanders campaign or Killer Mike.
Interesting. It's a weird framing of that. And I mean, so at this point, have you decided? Are you supporting any candidates right now?
No, my position has been maintaining consistent that I don't support any of the candidates.
And that's reasonable. And you know what? I'm not. I guess at this point I could start yelling at you about how you're destroying the Democratic Party, and that you don't understand that Sanders is a for your own good, or Hillary's for your own good. Because at this point, everyone's being yelled at right and left about this. So
wait, now you do realize that since y'all went there, that means Bernie Sanders marched with Black Lives Matter, right? Essentially, that's what happened.
Rod, why you even? Rod, don't do that. Don't do that.
But that's what's next. Is Bernie Sanders march with Black Lives Matter? Where was Hillary when this happened?
Oh Jesus!
They just take screenshots and edited photos of us up on stage with Bernie, and it makes it look like we were at a march.
Right. Now, but I will say this, Marissa, just as a note, as I re-looked at the clip of that, it looks like that Bernie is putting his hand over the platform. It looked like your hand was going there, and then I played it a couple times, and then it looks like your hand was there, and it was like, hey, like that, as opposed to going in for it. I think I will say that just from the video clip, because you have to know that people are going to be nitpicking the point of this the entire time. That the fact is that it looked like he was trying to touch your hand in a handshake, even if it actually the handshake didn't happen. We have to acknowledge that the hand was out, because that's the frame. Because people will really ignore this.
You don't even have to go off of what I say, right? You can go after what Bernie said when he immediately left the stage and was confronted by media, and what was his statement regarding it. I really wish they wouldn't have interrupted me, because I had a lot to say about Medicare. And, I was going to talk about Black Lives Matter. You don't have to take my word for it. His own statement shows that he wasn't making space for us, because he was already denying it and pissed off about it after the fact.
And also,
so that's why I talk about, the whitewashing, and I think the gendered level of this is all of the evidence. You don't even have to believe me or think I'm a good person or whatever.
Right.
All the evidence, even from Bernie himself, there's been a whole different narrative about what that Sanders action meant back in August up until the last week, when it was useful to weaponize against black voters in the South.
Right, and Rodimus Prime, you were paying attention a lot when the initial Bernie Sanders, the initial disruption by Black Lives Matter at Netroots Nation happened last July, and I feel as if people sometimes, because America has the attention span of a gnat, that they forget actually what happened after that. And that that Sanders was dragged. It was a thing. People were freaking the hell out about how that whole thing was playing out. So the idea that all of a sudden Sanders is this pro black woman giving up stages and just letting him be there, when specifically he got his ass dragged for weeks around this.
What I remember at Netroots specifically was Tia Oso and others marching with Bernie Sanders, and when I saw him marching with them, I was astounded. I was like, oh my God, Bernie Sanders is so black. And I just had to go on the internet and let people know how black he was. And it really took off from there. So I appreciate him picking up the torch of Martin Luther King, I think, in civil rights, and just carrying it all the way to 2016 to the White House.
Rodimus, I need you not to be such a problem. Just in case you're just
I watched Bernard Sanders, and he let those little black girls speak.
Yeah, can we talk about that? Little black girls? I'm sorry. What?
Yeah.
People are calling us bitches and cunts and whores, but now we're little black girls.
Didn't they ask to tase you? Didn't they want to tase you? At some point, they said something like tase them or arrest them or something like that in the crowd.
Oh, they were calling for arrest.
They threw trash at us. They threw water bottles at us. They were calling for people to tase us. And then angry white people came up to us after the event and tried to physically fight us. And we had some other white folks that were with us that formed a barrier around us, a physical barrier. And then they tried to fight the white folks who were protecting us. There was a mother even there with her son, and some of these liberals bit her. Literally bit her.
Wow. Well,
so they formed a circle to protect you. Was Bernie Sanders in the circle marching to protect you from the other people? Because that's his thing. That is totally his thing.
Actually, now that I think about it, you're right. I forgot that's how that went down.
That's what I figured.
Clearly. So, I mean, as I said, I don't want to spend a bunch of time around this, but I just realized that basically it's Marissa, myself, and Rod on the same show. This is basically the conspiracy theory that they've been thinking about since the jump. It's like, see, they're trying to take down. It's the black conspiracy theory to take down Sanders. It's like, I didn't really have to take him down. Oh my God! Don't do that! Don't. They're not gonna.
Somebody say something bad about Hillary. Quick, hurry up! Remember when Hillary smacked that girl yesterday? She was
what? She didn't smack anybody.
Shut up, black person! I'm tired of black.
Are you Fox? Stop Fox Newsing it, Rod.
That's good job. That's good work, Rod. That's really good work, Rod.
Listen, I don't know about your roughshod a podcast that you do. Some higgly piggly like loose fact show. This is a news program, Rod, and you have to fucking respect that. That's one. You have to respect our news.
Trying to watch out for all of our mentions. I just would like a night of peace. So I think Hillary is terrible, and Bernie marched with Black Lives Matter a couple of times, once at Netroots, Seattle, and I feel like we need to acknowledge that, and Killer Mike is obviously not problematic.
All right, well, I'm tired. I'm not doing this anymore. Marissa, do you want to say anything else? I wanted to make sure to give you the space to be able to weigh in on this, since this is in fact basically your action and basically your face being used to sell Sanders as someone who doesn't even support him in any shape, form, or fashion. I just want to give you the last word on this particular subject.
Yeah, I mean, I think people from the get have thought that my politics and my stance on things are really, really radical, and a lot of times. And I think what's been interesting about how people on the national stage have interacted with me is that they keep expecting me to be like respectable and nuanced, and I'll just say it like, no, I don't vote. No, I don't like any of the candidates. No, I want the dismantling of the American government. And it's just easier that way. But I think really part of what all of the disruptions helped jumpstart last summer, and that I really want people to get at this point, is like this whole election, this whole system is just extreme political theater. And what it does is it gets a lot of people's efforts wrapped up in something that's not for them, particularly Black people. I mean, if you just think about how many Black people are engaged in the political system, particularly with the Democrats, when there's a lot of different places that our energy could be going. So I think people, particularly my age, are kind of waking up to this. And honestly, like, I can't stand Hillary Clinton, but I'm glad that Bernie got his ass handed to him because he deserved it. And it was just a big SU from Black people of like, you can't treat Black folks as just pawns in your political system. And I think that's ultimately, where Bernie went wrong and why, in my view, he will not win the nomination, is because he's never, him and his supporters, his campaign have never, ever, ever taken seriously Black people or Black voters and took them for granted. And that's why you see him getting his ass handed to him. And the thing that's really cool that you guys have brought up multiple times on Twitter and other spaces is that he was warned about this from the jump. And instead of responding to critiques and responding to, the fact that Black Lives Matter even paid him any attention at all, when they could have just ignored him and let his campaign just go on to irrelevancy, the fact that they weren't responsive at all just shows like now they're reaping basically what they've sown. And for a lot of people who support Bernie, that's unfortunate.
Indeed, ma'am. And so thank you so much again for coming
I have
on.
One more question for Marissa.
Oh my God, Rod, I swear to God. I swear to God, Rod.
It's a quick question.
Really? Okay, let's go.
Marissa, what does Bernie smell like?
Oh my God, really?
Don't you want to know?
What does he smell like? I'll tell you one thing. He's not frail. People are like, it's funny when they have him come up on the stage, they like hold his arm and he's like, make him look really old and like your grandpa like coming up. And then he like, when he boss tried to get to the stage and he like chest butt me, like he was strong. But what does he smell like? I feel like he just smelled like my grandpa. Like he kind of looks like my grandpa. Okay. That's a new conspiracy theory. Bernie Sanders and my grandpa.
I would assume that he smells like freedom. Mm-hmm. And Martin Luther King's dreams.
No,
that's what he smells like.
If he was a good socialist, he'd smell like a blunt. But then all of Seattle smells like that, so it's kind of
maybe freedom and Martin Luther King's dreams smells like marijuana. Did you ever consider that, Marissa? You ever consider that?
You know what? I'll ponder it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, ma'am. It's very much appreciated, and we will continue to watch this, and if we have to have you weigh in on some stuff, we will, madam. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks. You guys have a good one.
You too.
So freedom smells like marijuana.
Yeah. But, oh my God. This show.
So I just wanted to make sure I know what to title the episode.
I believe at the moment the running title for the show is Sanders March with Black Lives Matter. BLM. Twice. That shit's cray. The amount of happening that's going there. So next up, docket. Yesterday we spoke of a tragedy that's happening in America that not too many people are really speaking of with the sincerity and severity that it deserves. We witnessed just recently a hostage situation with Christie and Donald Trump, where Donald Trump was literally standing there and Christie wanted to escape and he couldn't. You could see his eyes. He was obviously something was happening and we didn't understand what was happening. And we were pondering that perhaps maybe Donald Trump was holding him hostage or holding like something he loves hostage. Mr. Christie, or Governor Christie, sorry, had something to weigh in about that today. Aaron?
I wasn't being held hostage. No, I wasn't sitting up there thinking, oh my God, what have I done? I was standing up there, supporting the person who I believe is the best person to beat Hillary Clinton of the remaining Republican candidates, and it's why I endorsed him. So I just had a lot of fun.
So, apparently, Christie had to throw a press conference today to explain that he was not being held hostage.
That's right.
Rod, I have one question.
Yes.
I think the question we should all be asking. Where your wife go?
Leave that man's wife alone.
Where's wife? I have left his wife alone. I'm thinking Trump hasn't left his wife alone. I'm assuming that Christie was sitting there and he was like, listen, you're going to go out there and you're going to start introducing me all over the place. And you know what? Your family might be okay. And he was like, what are you talking about, my family? He just handed him an iPad. He just looked at it and it was like live feed of his like wife going to go pick up one of the kids and like and a bunch of family and just following him around. And I mean, that's the only way I can explain the look on Christie's face when that press conference was happening. And then the second day, Christie having to explain that he was not being held hostage. Like, when in American politics has a politician have to come out and say, listen, I understand that some of you guys might have been confused, but I wasn't being held hostage. I wasn't having a moment of regret, like true regret going, what have I done? I know I was looking at the best person for my party. I know I've said the exact opposite numerous times up until this point, but now I believe.
I didn't know you were supposed to directly address the internet making fun of you like that. I thought that was bad. Like maybe they teach us that in grade school. Like you're not supposed to, like, be making fun of you. You're not supposed to just turn towards the class and be like, listen, here's what I was thinking in the moment when I slipped on that banana peel. Let me walk you through it.
Or
you got to tweet through it, man.
Or forget tweeting through it. I think that what we really need to just accept is that he loves his family. As much as a douchebag Christie might be, he loves his family. He wants to get him back. And apparently Liam Neeson is not around.
Have to accept this too.
What? What'd you say?
He does not have a special set of skills.
Christie, no. Like call Liam Neeson. Like call the actor Liam Neeson and say, please, could you go get my kids? Not the character that he plays in Taken. Just call him and just say, could you just, please, I need some help, something.
Could you just record a commercial? Just like an audio commercial. Just to give me 25 seconds, just tell them to please be reasonable. And listen to you.
And I'm pretty sure, Aaron, that the reason why Mr. Christie, Governor Christie, went out there to explain this is because Donald Trump saw all the press. Because Donald Trump is the biggest troll around, and he's looking at all the press talk about the fact that this moment where he was supposed to be celebrating that basically Christie's back there being held. Donald Trump was like, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna throw a press conference. I really don't want to throw. You're gonna throw a press conference. You're going to tell them that you weren't being held hostage. I don't think that's a guy. Why would I? I don't want to tell them that I haven't. You're going to tell them you weren't being held hostage. Would you like to see?
Is essentially the guy from the opening of The Last Boy Scout. The guy who was a football player and he had to score a touchdown because his family was kidnapped. So he pulls out a gun and shoots all the defensive people to just score the touchdown. Then he kills himself in the end zone because he knew his career was over. I feel like Christie is going all out like the last Boy Scout to get this touchdown with Donald Trump, because if they don't score, his career, this is political suicide for him. It's over.
I mean, I don't just go make the money in private sector. Like, that's what I'm confused by. There's so much money. Giuliani makes so much money in the private sector. What's happening here? What? Like, just go get those dollars.
In his defense, Giuliani is actually kind of good at the stuff that he chooses to do. I mean, he's not. We don't like him.
But he's you say good.
He's good at being things he chooses to do.
Like whatever, being an asshole, racist, bigot, destroying New York's economy for 20 years after he leaves. He knocked that shit the fuck out.
Aaron,
what?
You don't have any apps. Respect the system.
Too big to fail.
It is not too big to fail. You will fail.
I'll be back here on tomorrow with more fucks.
God,
it's too much privilege.
Just
got too much.
This is the problem with Negroes. No, that's why you can't give a Negroes any power.
Aaron, at this point, you don't loose cannon. Aaron is like every partner in a detective movie that is taking the case way too serious and needs to turn in his gun and back.
Still living life on the edge.
I keep telling Aaron that I'm 5 days from a retirement, and Aaron just refuses to respect that.
I'm too old for this shit, Aaron.
Too old for this shit, Aaron. I just need to get through this. And Aaron's just like, like basically, I feel like I'm the old cop, and Aaron and Amani are both my young crazy partners who just don't listen to anything, and we have to just go. That's what's happening.
Do we get out in shootouts on Miami highways like Will Smith in Bad Boys 2?
I would prefer that we don't.
That'd be awesome.
If possible,
get in shootouts with racial stereotypes like Bad Boys. I'm sorry, I can't keep. I won't even get into it. I won't get into it.
Can I be clear about my judgment of all of you? Can we have that moment?
Would you like the podium? Here's the podium.
My judgment is strong. Right, like Rod, Aaron, Amani ain't even here. I'm just like I feel like wherever she is, she's being a problem. All of you, just problems and a half.
Look at Rod. How did Rod become a problem? He's been on here for 41 minutes.
I didn't even do anything this time.
You know.
What that thing smell like for Bernie Sanders, and next thing you know, I'm problematic. Come on,
you're problematic as all get out. Let's hit this next docket story. So we've been talking a bit about the departure of Melissa Harris Perry from MSNBC, and it has not gotten any cleaner or less messy since it started. Over the weekend, actually right before the weekend, Melissa Harris Perry sent a letter to her staff saying that she was not going to be returning on Saturday because the show had been basically hijacked by MSNBC. And she explained that she was tired of that and that she didn't, with the preemptions, the ignoring and sidelining her around issues around that they were reporting on the election. And she grew a little bit tired of it, and she wanted her show back. She wanted to be back in control of it. And MSNBC has been making comments. Phil Griffin's, the president of MSNBC, has commented. Senior vice president over there commented. And it's kind of hilarious what's happening here because they don't seem to understand the ridiculousness of their argument at this point, Rod, because they in all of this people keep talking about the shift of MSNBC and that they're trying to move away from opinionated stuff to straight news, which it was funny. Someone on Twitter tweeted at me, it's like, wait, so you're moving away from opinion, but you're going to do 3 to 4 hour election blocks, which is nothing but opinion. Like that's what?
I think the missing word was white opinion.
Oh dear.
Oh, they misspelled it. I see. They misspelled it, so we misread it. It meant white opinion.
It blended in with the page. That it was.
Yeah. So here's the funny part about all of this, Aaron. So in the New York Times, they were talking to like I said, the senior vice president over at MSNBC. I believe her name is I know last name is Miley. I forget her first name. And so it's interesting that they're getting all this information. And according to the senior vice president over at MSNBC, they said they will spend nights thinking about what they could have done differently, but pursuing politics in this matter and at this time was the right call, right? So the fact is that, like, yes, we kicked off one of our brightest and most skilled and full of knowledge commentators that we had on staff. That actually, even when we were actually in the same hotel with her on the election cycle, because she's doing a project with the college that she teaches at, Awake the Vote, and they've been going to all the primaries and stuff like that. And she can be in the same hotel, and they still wouldn't call one of the brightest and most popular public intellectuals in the country. Just didn't think to call them. And it's all about politics. Here's a question, Aaron.
Yes.
If you are focusing on politics, one, shouldn't you go to the scholar who writes books on politics?
Yeah, but at some point, this is what we were talking about with our countries loving and falling in love with Trump. You get tired of all the black. You get tired of the black person who's better than you. come on.
That's no, but
what? What else explains? You get tired of the smartest person in the room being the black woman. You walk into every room you walk into with Melissa Harris Perry, she's the smartest person in the room. Every room. For 200 rooms, that gets tedious. You're a white guy. You're a white guy. That means you're a white guy, right? You should be the smartest guy in at least half the rooms you walk into on principle, except with this black lady following you around, fucking up your shit.
Aaron!
I'm just saying.
You're not saying. Follow the rules, Aaron. I swear to God, Aaron, I'm going to start docking.
You know who I keep thinking about in all this? The guy who probably is claiming this as a victory is, of course, Dr. Reverend James Manning. He was against Melissa. I believe that started all this. Then he was against Elon. Then he lost his church. And now he probably is feeling type of...
I know that... Did the church get officially sold? I stopped paying attention. Did someone else owe it?
Sold to a gay rights group.
I mean, is that official? Because I know that it was up.
That. You know what? Let me Google that. But I feel like I've read that more than once now, and I'm hoping it's true. Maybe I'm just hoping it's true so much.
You can't. See, I'm Aaron. I mean, Rod, this is the problem with your Slapshot podcast. I don't know the rules and regulations that you guys follow over there. I feel like you just say things all the time, and you're just going, you're like, who's the president? Monkeys, and you just and that's what you do over there. And I don't think that's not the standard that we have here, Rod.
They are raising funds to buy the church, so it's not official yet. It's going up for auction soon. But
I thought it was already. I thought the auction already happened, but perhaps I was incorrect. That it was supposed to be happening, but then Manning was talking all this smack about being able to get it back, which was hilarious, and I don't really believe him. But. Back to the docket story at hand.
Oh, hold on, I do have a question.
Yes.
So they made this choice because they were down in the ratings to Fox and CNN, right? While I do not agree with racism, I understand that there's business decisions you have to make all the time. Hollywood does it all the time. So I'm assuming now that they're ahead of Fox and CNN in their ratings and their political coverage, that this all worked out, right?
Interesting that you bring that up, Rod. Yeah, that's not really the case at all. In actuality, it seems as if their whole plan, not only did it fail, it failed drastically. If you look at the latest Variety, I believe it's on the screen now. They pointed out that for Super Tuesday, that CNN and Fox News are drawing record numbers for Super Tuesday, and that's like, oh wow! So everyone's back on the election grind. So cool, yeah, we're good, and the cable news is getting their love back. But then we find out that, compared to 2008, which is what they actually have ratings for this, Fox News up, CNN up, MSNBC down 40%.
4%?
No,
that's crazy.
Rod, I believe I said 40.
They went down 14% off of the changes they made.
Rod. Again, I know I mean, perhaps you're hearing. I'm not sure about this. It was actually 40%, Rod.
Four 10 people that were watching their shows have not watched their shows.
40%, Rod. So people that were watching currently not watching. So there's focus on politics, which, by the way, so you focus on politics, but you don't use your ace political person in the whole. You actually put someone on air leading your news cycle who is actually caught flat out lying. But your black woman scholar writing books and shit on elections. Black votes, South Carolina. Black vote, very, very important in this election. Somehow, magically, that person needs to be sidelined so that you can focus on politics.
Now, Elon James White, I do have a question. Are you counting the homo demons that normally watch these sodomite shows?
First of all, I believe that homo demons still are a view when it comes. So Like if we had like a million homo demons watching this, I'd be like doing the Dougie in the streets. But
MSNBC is number one with the homo demons, as I assume this show is as well. So maybe that's why the ratings went down when that evil creature, Melissa Henry Perry, is that her name?
Sir, it's Harris Perry.
Melissa's Harry Perry. Tyler Perry.
Did you say her Perry was Harry? That's terrible.
Yeah, Melissa's Harry and Perry. She gone. So maybe that's why the ratings have also decreased, and it'll be going back up as soon as they get these sodomite, homo demon, latte sipping semen drinkers off of the air.
I don't. You know what? I'm gonna say no. That's all I'm gonna say on this. I'm not gonna really get deep into it. I feel like that's not necessary.
But they need to preach from this book that I got. What you gonna do about this, Elon? Huh? What you gonna do about this here? The Bible. Okay, now I'm being.
You done? You good?
I do admit I'm being problematic.
Aaron, put the screen up again, because I really want people to see this thing here. That it says compared with 2008 Super Tuesday, Fox News Channel was up by 40%, and viewers and 25% in the demo. CNN was up by 12% overall, 5% in the demo, and then MSNBC lost nearly 40% of its audience and 6% of its overall audience. It's 40% of its demo audience and 6% of its all of its audience.
Jesus, that's a bloodbath.
Like, it's just like, no one's watching. No one's watching.
They're going to have to start firing white people next.
What are you talking about? What you call it? You can be a lying white person and you still can keep your job. Like, that's the best part about it. Like, not only will you keep your job, you will be the lead anchor.
Yeah. You know it's serious when they start firing non-essential white personnel. That's when you know. Like, okay, guys, no more coffees. That's a wrap for that, man.
Yeah, this. I just don't get their logic, like the idea of like because it's one of two things here, Rod. Either one, you were focusing on politics and you were basically idiots because you don't use your ace in the hole political like scientists who like this what you do. So it's either that. Or you really didn't want to use her at all. You actually were specifically keeping her off air because you were clearly as a MSNBC leaked that she's what was it, challenging and unpredictable personality.
Okay, I have a question. Quick quiz, Elon.
Mm-hmm.
What will the average American be before even saving their own lives? What will they be before what do they think of doing even before considering their own health and well-being?
I don't know. Aaron.
Racist. They will be racist before they will even consider their own well-being of the spirit, of their money, of their job. I don't know. If you watched Congress function for the past decade, they're just being racist in front of their jobs of just generally greasing the wheels for America. So, and we've seen it all over the internet, that racism precedes your health and your well-being. So, even though MSNBC would benefit from using the super black lady, since they don't have much else on the network, you have to be racist first, then you bring in a mediocre white person, and then you can get to your senses.
He's right, Ellen. I used to be racist, and then God saved me from being one of you black people when I went to jail.
The best part about it, is that Rod right now is it seems like Rod's being ridiculous right now, and that he's saying like madness because he's in the whole David Manning voice, but that's actually something David Manning actually said. Let's have that. Yeah, like David Manning is a parody of himself. Actually, I think that's where I'm at right now. Why I'm just done with everything, because everything's a parody of everything. Like I can't make jokes better than what's happening actually in real life. We have Donald Trump is really going to become the Republican candidate. Mitt Romney came out and called him a phony.
Yep.
What? Apparently, to focus on politics, you have to fire one of your best political brains. To support black people, you have to not listen to them, and then you have to tell them that if you just stop critiquing me, then you'd realize how great I am for you. Mm-hmm. And then, hey, where are you from? Okay, you're Southern Negro. That's not good. The Northern Negroes, they'll get it. Wait.
Oh, we's just stupid down here. I still gonna be on the plantation, boss. Maybe when I get off in time, I have to go down to get 3/5 of a vote. It sure is a lot of letters in these names on this voting ballot. I'll just vote for H because that's the only letter I know.
I mean, well,
I was so listen. If I hadn't already been done with the dude, I would have been so mad at the assertion that somehow my Negro-ness is so different down here than any other place in the country. It's so insulting. I don't even know. Thank God for Killer Mike.
Well, the theory on that, Arad, was that it's because Southern Negroes are so much more conservative that's the reason why he wasn't doing as well with them.
Well, when I go to my atheist church, boss, I just goes in there and we just sit around humming Bible songs, and that's what's keeping me from voting for Bernie. You do know that he is Jewish. You know how much black people down here don't like that.
I don't think they're thinking about that, Rod.
Yeah, that's not a thing down
here. I don't think that's the thing.
We don't even have enough Jewish people down here to be hating people. So it's literally, I don't know. When he said that, I was just like, what is the thing that they're conservative on? Because it's not like he's down here. Like, it's not like everyone's going, Bernie Sanders, I associate him with, I don't know, gay rights, and that's why I won't vote for him. That's not happening. So, it's not like Hillary's like, oh, you know what? I hate me some gay people. And everybody's like, oh, okay. Wink, wink. We black people, we know. Get in the church bus. Let's go vote. Not to mention much of the black vote down here has been affected by these new voter restriction laws, man. I got to show an ID when I go vote in our Super Tuesday next 2 weeks from now. So, he could have came down here and talked about that, but all right, cool.
Well, actually, let's have a moment with this because we have to shut it down. We're over time here, but I just want to have this quick moment here about the whole idea of all the Negroes voting for Hillary, and clearly this is and they're voting against their best interests and all that good stuff. So one, kindly go fuck yourself, because you can't black people aren't stupid. They can decide who made the argument that they believe in. Two, why don't we actually have a moment and look at the actual numbers of people going out? Voter turnout is down across the board. Just by millions down. A lot of black people aren't voting at all. Because you know why? They lack fucks. That's two about all of this. You know why? Because people haven't made the argument. So yes, there are people, the people, and you look at who Hillary is doing best with, the older Negroes, who actually old folks vote more. Black folks are very much loyal in certain spaces. But then there's a bunch of people that are not voting at all. And so why don't you acknowledge that? Why don't you acknowledge all the people that apparently didn't feel the burn and are not with her? What about those?
Did you see all the exit polls for Twitter avatar eggs? Because I feel like he would be slaying her.
It was about that?
Egg avatars? Dude, 99% gotta be.
You know what? If thank God the election's not on Twitter, because that'd be a landslide. Forget Electoral College. All eggs, everything.
Yo, I really wish we could I don't care enough to troll him, but it would be cool if I could get everybody to dress up as Twitter eggs and just go stand at a polling place. And then be like, oh, snap, looks like Bernie's finally, demographics coming in, baby. These eggs have been harassing nonstop, but why isn't it showing up at the poll? When you get up to go vote, why isn't the revolution happening for the egg avatar people?
Apparently, maybe they're not, I don't know. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they felt the burn, but they didn't feel the burn in their legs to walk forward. Maybe that's what they didn't feel the burn of actually moving forward, to get off their ass to actually go make sure that it happens. I mean,
maybe the eggs thought it would be over easy. Okay. Hey, I do have a last question. I do have though.
Yes, sir.
Killer Mike was talking about Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
Did she really tell somebody to shut up?
I think he was talking about the Ashley Williams clip. Where she was saying, if you would be quiet, I'll respond to that. So I think that's if I could be mistaken, and I'll gladly retract if I'm incorrect. But I don't believe she said shut up. I believe she said if you would be quiet or whatever. And you could say that well it was basically shut up. And I mean, okay, but like when you're making that argument, I mean at that point he's playing fast and loose with actually what happened. You know what I mean? He's like in one hand, Bernie Sanders, he opens his arms up and he says, "Come here, Negro childs, come rest upon my breast." And that white chick over there, she saw them and she said, "I'll get you, my little pretty, and your little dogs too." And this is the problem with America. I need to stand with the man who will literally allow black girls to suckle at his teat. I need people to support him, and not that white woman who when she sees black folks, she goes, "I should go deep fry some." I cannot stand for that. We will not stand for that. We must feel the burn. Go Bernard Sanders. We're done here. Aaron, have we been sufficiently black?
Yes.
Hey, Rod, have we been sufficiently black?
No, I am not a black man anymore. I told you. I have been sufficiently white.
Aaron, you don't have that particular clip from
no,
Manning Up.
It would take a bit of doing. So
all right, I actually wanted to end with that. You know what? We're done here. Thanks for Rodimus Prime from the Black Guy Who Tips for coming on. You should check out Rodimus Prime at theblackguywhotips.com. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe to his premium network, the Black Guy Who Tips Premium. Make sure you get on that. Support Black independent media. This is how we do. This is how we doing things. Because when people talk all that nonsense about, people aren't actually, there's no black media. Literally, black media is being created all over the goddamn place.
Motherfucker, it stacks.
Really?
It's too big to fail. It stacks. As one dude co-hosts another show with another dude, is another CEO of another organization who's like, another guy has his own shit. And they're just we're all just hanging out. That's the worst part, by the way. We all seem to know each other. Don't let the white people know. We do know each other. We all know each other.
I forgot to ask you, did y'all's Hillary Clinton check clear yet? Because it's getting close to the 5th, and I got to pay rent in my Hillary check.
You see my new Raider shirt? Like this is actually 100% silk. I had them make me 100% silk Raider shirt because I got all the Clinton money just rolling in. It just keeps rolling. I just got all that dough, all that Hillary dough.
I need to get that Soros direct deposit. That's why I'm messing.
See, that first of all, that's how I know that you're not getting paid by Soros. If you were getting paid by Soros, you would know that you don't get Soros money by direct deposit. You get Soros money at midnight in a dark alley. And you just go out there and you just stand there and you just go. And then all of a sudden a bag of money just drops down and like no one sees anything. It's like it's quiet. That's that Soros money. And actually the S on the bag, it's like the dollar sign like that, but it's for Soros. All right, and that's what just drops down, and that's what we get.
That's why I've been messing up.
See, you've been messing up. You out clearly. You ain't out at the alley getting that Soros money. See, you'd have the all silk Raider shirt or whatever. Like right now, you see this microphone? This is actually money that I just melded into a microphone or whatever. You think it looks like a microphone? This is actual cash.
Little known fact: this is being recorded on a truck going across the country right now.
We're actually on TWiB Force 1 right now. We're broadcasting from the sky.
Oh man, see,
you don't know about this money, son. You don't know about this Soros money, this Hillary money, son.
I messed up. I signed up with Dr. Reverend James Manning. He was supposed to send me some Outlaw Worldwide checks, and it's just been a little bit late lately, you know.
So you messed up. You say, Rod, like, help me help you shill. Okay? Help me help you shill. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back here next week. Have a pleasant evening.
What? I ain't even say anything yet. Hey, they say the blacker the berry, you know the sweeter the juice. Time for this weekend blackness, so everybody get loose. Smell like something on fire, ayo, I think it's the roof. Smell like something on fire, ayo, I think it's the roof. It's like black steel, black soul, black pain, black power, black